Hey, everybody, welcome to the Grind Lifestyle Podcast. I am JP. That guy over there is Nick. How are you, bud?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, good, man. Excited to do this podcast today. Today
Yes.
on the show, man, we've got a real special guest. He is one of television's evil personalities, at least according to Reddit and any internet deep dives you may do. He is an 8-time champion of Naked and Afraid. He is Mr. Jeff Zausch. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, guys. Good to be with you today.
Fantastic, man. Now, and I got to tell you, in the 3 minutes that we've been on prior to starting this recording, I'm not getting evil vibes from you, man.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not buying it. That Reddit guy is full of shit.
Dude, I thought they've been full of shit for 12 years, okay? But you don't get to win, eight of these things without pissing people off along the way. So I've had I think I've pissed off a good number of people over the years.
well, it's love and war, right?
That's it. That's
You
it.
got to do it, man. Well, so the premise of this podcast, Grind Lifestyle, obviously, it's we like to have guests in the music industry, television industry, sports, whatever that, practices that grind lifestyle mentality. With Nick, it's, work hard, play hard, and get through some serious stuff that's been going on lately. How would you define Jeff Zausch's grind lifestyle?
When I think of grind, I think sitting in the mud naked, nuts being bit up by ants and covered in a million mosquitoes, so thick that it looks like you're wearing a black shirt or black socks, even though you're naked. That's my definition of when I need to grind something out for 24, 48, 72 hours. That's where my mind goes. That is the deepest dark of hell that I've experienced, or moments like that where the grind really is essential.
I think, Nick,
That
that
sounds like the
might be
most
it.
awful thing I could ever
Yeah.
imagine.
It sounds like a new definition of the grind lifestyle that hasn't been portrayed yet.
Is there really enough money to win that 8 times to sit naked in the mud with ants eating your balls?
There's there's not enough money in the world, honestly. Like if people wanted to pay me to do it for money, there's not a chance. And in fact, that's why we see some people that do it for money, or they do it for the fame, or they do it to be on TV or whatever. None of those people last more than 3 or 4 days. None of them. Because once they're out there, they realize, holy shit, like there's nothing that's worth it. You have to do it for the pride of doing it. Otherwise there's just, you can't
Yeah.
convince somebody to do something like that.
You're you're a badass, man. I can't even sleep in my bed naked. I don't even.
Right? So wait, okay, I'm going to jump in there. My fear for that is, what if my house gets burned down or somebody breaks in and I got to kick someone's ass? I don't want to do it balls out. I
Well,
want to, I want to be somewhat covered.
It's you might surprise yourself. I mean, I've had the same thought about jumping on the back of an alligator, for example, and putting a knife through its neck, because alligators have those spines, the spikes on the back, and so when I jumped on that thing, nuts out and everything, it cut me up pretty good. It cut me up pretty good, but I say anything you can do clothed, you can do naked. It might be a little harder, but it can be done.
I think it's just a mental thing, right? We're so brought up into, oh, I mean, my son, he might be listening behind the door of the studio over there. So if he hears this, I apologize, kid. But like he won't even answer the door lately. Like, the pizza guy, whatever, wearing shorts and no shirt. I don't understand the mentality. I was like, Dad, you're man, get out there. Today, go get the mail. Dad, I don't have any clothes that are clean. I'm like, who? Nobody cares, dude. Go out there. You're wearing shorts. Everything is fine. I should introduce him to you. Maybe you should have some talking to. This man survived months naked, naked. As you
Jumping
said,
on alligators and shit.
yeah, that's crazy, man. Dude, that is. Oof. I just saw one of your recent Instagram posts, conservative speech or something along those lines, and I know we don't want to get well. We can absolutely 100% go
Let's
political
go
if
down
you all
that
want.
rabbit hole. Let's do it.
But I just wanted to say I commend you, and I really appreciated. There was one line in that speech, or maybe it was even written on the post or something along the lines that essentially said, "I don't care where you lean, I love you all and appreciate." And that's just we need more. That's what we need. You know, the divisiveness in this country, it's just so bonkers.
It's
It
weird.
it is weird and it is crazy, and that's honestly where a lot of the hate towards me comes from. Is that 12 years doing Naked and Afraid and these other survival challenges
Yeah.
on Discovery Channel and some other networks. I've my true thoughts and feelings and the way I view the world have obviously come out, and a lot of people got on my case because I sometimes there's people that I'm out there surviving with that they don't really have what it takes to be out there, and they want to latch onto the coattails of the people that do have what it takes, and I've never liked that idea. I've never, I feel like if you cross that finish line on day 21, on day 40, on day 60, like you better believe, like you better have earned it. And I have so much respect for survival. I have so much respect for the people that do it. I haven't wanted to see people get handouts and basically survive off of being given things rather than having earned it. And so in a way, I'm kind of a hard ass that way, where I believe that we should have to work for things and earn them. And I don't feel like that's a very difficult concept to understand, but there
No.
is a whole group of people out there that do have trouble understanding that, and so I've gotten a lot of hate from that over the years.
There we go.
That's one of the hardest things I've been having to apply to my own children, man, is accountability. It just whether it's small, whether it's big, you need to earn what you get, and you're because you're going to appreciate that so much better. And it just common sense and truth, we need more of it. It's duh. Anyway, I applaud you.
Yeah.
So we didn't need to go that route. We continue it if you want, but
Man, so just kind of doing a deep dive on Naked and Afraid and being friends. We've had a bunch of the people from the challenge on our podcast, and I'm good friends with TJ Lavin. So putting those contestants into your situation in your world would be insane because it's like you see like what they're doing. It's like, man, that's like not even 10% of what these guys are doing on Naked and Afraid. I wonder how the dynamic would be and like if they're kind of cool to see a crossover show.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I never put any other show down or any other challenge because they're just different. They're just flat
Yeah.
out different. I mean, I will say that Naked and Afraid, in my opinion, is the most authentic and true survival challenge that has ever been created. But because it's so survival focused, fortunately, I don't have to. It's not a game, right? It's not a game like Survivor or these other different shows. There's a social game to it,
Right.
and I'm fortunate that I've never really had to survive that part of the game because, frankly, I don't think I could. I think I'd be total shit at the social game and trying to make people like me, and I mean that's been hard enough just in the Naked and Afraid world, getting people to like me. So I'm good at one thing, and that's being tough, being resilient, and surviving whatever Mother Nature has to throw at me. That's what I'm good at. And these other things I have a feeling I wouldn't be so good at. So fortunately for me, Naked and Afraid is it's aligned with my skill set and what I enjoy doing. So it's been pretty successful since it started in 2013.
on the
Yeah.
show, is there a camera crew or do you
Yeah.
guys film yourself? Okay. I have the camera crew naked too.
I wish. Believe me, I
I mean,
wish
right?
because
They should be if you're going to be dropping in and doing all this stuff.
what's crazy is like on day one when we take our clothes off and walk off into the jungle or wherever we are, it's as weird as everybody out there would imagine. It like you feel naked. You feel very naked, very vulnerable.
Given.
But I tell you what, after 2 or 3 days of being out there, you almost have forgotten that you're even naked, because that is so low down on the priority list. You're thinking food, water, shelter, fire, self-defense from predators and different things. The nakedness, eventually you forget about it, and we become primal. Like I really feel like human beings were not really meant to wear clothing, as weird as that sounds, because it becomes so normal to us. But then the crew, what you're saying, the camera crew, just when you're starting to get into it and you forget that you're even naked and it's not even a problem, you look over and you see a camera guy in leather boots and full snake gaiters and
Yeah.
a mosquito net over his face, and you're like, son of a and you realize how little you have at that moment.
What geography that you've been in as far as survival do you deem the most difficult? Desert, forest, mountain? What's the toughest?
So
What position do I not want to find myself in?
this may surprise some people, because I mean, I've survived everywhere from the Amazon jungle, the deserts of Africa, the Arctic, but hands down, the most difficult place I've ever survived, the swamps of Louisiana.
Hmm.
Without a doubt. Tougher than the Amazon. It's tougher than Africa, with lions and leopards and hyenas trying to kill you. The swamps of Louisiana is straight hell. It's absolute hell. Like if the devil lives anywhere on the planet, he's in Louisiana right now. Like that's where hell is, in my opinion. And I actually tell people, like, I won't even fly over Louisiana in a commercial jet, just in case the damn thing crashes and I survive. And then I'm stuck in hell again. It's brutal, you guys. It's brutal, from the mosquitoes, all the bacteria, viruses, illnesses that are in the swamp water,
Yeah.
the infections that I got. I mean, shit, we got hit by a Category 2 hurricane while surviving there. On top of everything else, it's absolute hell. It's brutal.
Crazy. So for people that don't know, I'm sure there's like safeguards in for like if you're going to get eaten by a lion. Are there people to like save you? I mean, the ratings would be insane if it actually happened.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I think the producers would love it. They would love it. They would love it if I got taken by a lion, and then they have to cut to black screen of in memory of Jeff. I and I kind of joke about it, but I really wish it was safer, because I mean they do what they can, I guess. I mean they have a satellite phone at all times. I guess that's to a medical team or a life flight or something. But there's a
Okay.
lot of places we go that if a snake bit me in the jungle, they're not going to be able to get a life flight to me. They're going to have
Right.
to haul my ass out in a net, crossing ravines and rivers and everything else, just to try to get me to the back of a pickup truck, who even the pickup truck is probably 2 miles or 2 hours away from the nearest hospital. It's a miracle to me that nobody has died on Naked and Afraid. There's not as much safety built in as you'd imagine,
Wow.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling that not Fear Factor with Rogan got canceled for drinking bull stuff. And you
Semen.
guys, yeah, okay, bull semen. And you guys could do and you guys can do the shit you're doing on your show. It's like, what the hell? It's
It's
amazing how
crazy.
far we've come as a society of what's acceptable and what's okay. And it's
Well, you just gave a perfect example. You're an almost 50-year-old man over here, father of 180, afraid to say the word semen on a podcast.
you never
Come
know,
on,
man.
man. What?
You start spitting that shit out, dude. It's
Yeah, it's we have evolved as a society. We're getting closer to the true Hunger Games version. I mean, I'm wondering when the first TV show will come out where we're trying to kill each other. It's getting closer as we go. But yeah, I mean, I eat testicles not for the TV drama of it. I eat testicles now because it's like I want to. Because like that's good protein and that's going to keep me alive. Fear Factor, they were trying to make a spectacle of it, but
right.
there's not an animal I kill now where I'm not eating the nuts and the penis off that thing. I mean, that's just now
I mean,
that's just
Liver King
survival.
does it. What we could all do it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
There was a show on a few years back. It got canceled. If you guys can remember the name of it or you've seen it, let me know. But there's a method to my madness here in telling this story. It was basically like an EMP attack, and it affected the entire planet, and it threw us all back into the dark ages. But obviously, with everything we have now, and you had to live without electricity, and basically you grow your own food, et cetera, et cetera. And then, there were factions and groups of civilization throughout the country that war against each other. The reason I bring that up is every time I see it or it comes up, I kind of wish that would truly happen. Do you feel, are you along that line? It's like I know it would take a whole hell of a lot to get used to. You'd fit right in. But it's simpler, harder, but simpler. There's no chaos, you're just, but no zombies. We don't want the zombie portion of that, Nick.
Yeah.
We just want the EMP blast, and we got to survive off the land and ride horseback everywhere, and just, I don't know. I think it would be great. I say that now, but let's just be real. When a month into it, I'd probably be like, "God, I miss the internet." But part of me
I'm
really
gonna get
wishes.
a little controversial. Remember the movie Surviving the Game with Ice-T?
Yes, hunting
the
humans.
Rich guys take the homeless people, put them out in the woods, and if you survive, you get some money and a house. I don't know.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know.
You're not wrong. I mean, I dream of that day. Okay, like I feel bad for all the 5 billion other people that won't make it, but in that world, I'm gonna be king. Like I'm gonna be a pharaoh in that world. In this modern world we live now, like I'm just the weird guy that likes to eat alligator testicles and live in the jungle. Like I'm not very normal, but in that world, in the EMP world, like guys, like those of us that can handle ourselves in the wilderness and in a world like that, it's tempting. It's tempting, but not only for that. So when I'm out there surviving, it's hard, it's difficult, it's terrible. It's as terrible as you'd imagine. But when I get home, I actually want to go back.
Yeah.
Because I get home to email, text messages, voicemails, I get responsibility and like all the technology, traffic, like oh my god, like traffic, right? And so the modern world sucks in so many ways. And you're right, the simplicity of surviving in the jungle with nothing but a knife and a fire, the simplicity it speaks to your soul in a really healthy way.
EMP bomb hits in 3 hours. You can locate anywhere in the continental United States to build that homestead and survive. Where are you going?
I've already got it picked out. Already got it picked out. I can't tell you the exact area, but
can you tell me what state?
The central mountains of Idaho.
Okay, that's not terribly far from us. We're in Southern Oregon. So
okay, yeah, it's it's very, very remote, very, very hard to get to. All you have to do is create one landslide to block off the only road in and out, and then the only way in there is by boat. So if you wanted to protect what you have downriver, all you have to do is set up a couple guys with rifles on the hillsides and protect the river. The only route in, and you're set. So
are winters pretty rough there?
Not as much as you'd think, because it's the Salmon River drainage, which all the elevation around you is 10,000, 11,000 feet, but the river drainage down by river, it's like 2,500 feet. So it's pretty mild compared to everything else around. And yeah, so it's a good thing to be thinking about, because the way the world's going, the number one news story this morning on the Daily Mail was like destroyed, passing, within 300,000 miles of Earth, like today, like that's happening tonight, right. And it's
I'm watching the news last night. Trump's building a gold dome. What the fuck are we gonna do with a gold dome?
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
for all the good things,
there's some to have it be clear so we can see what's coming at us. I don't know.
A golden dome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a metaphor, Nick. Okay,
I
not an
watched that.
actual dome.
I watched that TV show Under the Dome.
Okay,
Shit
but
went south real
it's
fucking fast.
it's not an actual dome. Okay, it's a protective. Oh, never mind. It's
I don't think anybody in the government realizes it's a metaphor. Is all I'm saying.
and therein
I was
lies the
watching,
problem with a lot of society these days. All right, Jeff, man. I got my lady. I texted her. I told you earlier. She's a huge fan.
Yep.
She's
Yep.
literally. And let me tell you what also she said before I asked you this question. You're gonna love this. I called her up. I said, "Hey, you watched all the Survivors, right?" She said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I'm like, "Well, today on the show, I've got Jeff Zausch on," and she's like, "Oh, there's one of two Jeffs on there. One of them's a total dick, but I don't know which one he is." But anyway, then I said he won it 8 times. She's like, "Oh my god, I love that guy." Here's the question from my lady. She'll make it before we get out of here today. But here, okay, ready? How bad did it hurt getting electrocuted by the eel?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, that's a real question. That's a real question with a real answer too.
Okay.
So I mean, growing up as a kid, just like everyone else, I watched Animal Planet growing up, Discovery Channel when they actually talked about animals and stuff. Electric eels, like we knew they shocked you, right? We all know they shock you. Growing up on a farm, I've been hit by electric cattle fences and that kind of thing, and that's what I thought it was going to be like. I thought I was just gonna, hit it and it would be, and maybe
Right.
hurt a little bit. No, dude, like it full out electrocuted me, full out, like up my arm because I hit it with the knife first. So I speared it with the wooden spear and I didn't get shot because
Right.
it's the wood the wood it didn't come up the wood. But when I got in the water with it and had to kill it, I hit it with my machete and it was like putting it in a plug socket. Like my arm
damn.
into my shoulder, into my chest. It was like a horse kick right to the chest. And I was worried. Like I thought my heart might stop, and my heart was out of rhythm actually for several
Yeah.
hours afterwards. And then I learned later, like after that challenge, when I got home and Googled it, that dozens of people die every year from from the shock of electric eels, the locals in
Nice.
this region and shit. It's scary.
There you go, baby. There's the true answer from the man himself. You grabbed the bull by the horns and you got your answer, man. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
What is one bit of advice you would give to a aspiring survivalist?
Oh God. Be careful what you wish for. Like if you could
EMP
be
bombs, for
anything,
example.
if you could be anything in the world and do anything with your life, like sitting in the mud in the Amazon, getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, ants, and diseases, it's probably not a good choice. I mean, I think back, like I actually went to college. I did
Yep.
what they tell us to do, and I
Idaho,
got degrees and shit.
Boise State,
Um,
right?
yeah, Idaho State,
Idaho
Idaho
State.
State.
Sorry.
Yeah, and I did what I was supposed to do, and then I went and I did this with my life, and now I live in the wild like someone from 10,000 BC. It's a weird life choice, but I hope to pass some good lessons on to people that don't have to do this because it's hard. It is really really hard, and that's why we see really tough men and women not even make it a week out there. And we see it often, we see Navy SEALs and women that have given birth to 6 children and like things that are unbelievably difficult, but they go out here in the jungle and they don't make it. And it's a whole different level of suffering. It doesn't just touch your body and your mind, it goes deeper. It really attacks your soul and like what it means to be human when you're 3 days in with anaphylactic shock, puking, vomiting, shitting yourself, and just it really is next level tough.
What about you is built different? Because time winner, pretty
Yeah,
consistent resume, man.
yeah. I think what it is it's nothing I've done. It's nothing I've learned. I didn't get taught by monks or anything. It was something in me is a little different, and a lot of us have it. So when I was a kid, like watching the Olympics with my family, they'd look over like 6, 7 years old, and I'd be in full tears, watching somebody win a gold medal at the Olympics. And from a young age, I had a real understanding and appreciation for watching somebody do the impossible and to achieve greatness. And so for me, when I first heard about the Naked and Afraid Challenge, instantly my mind went there, like, oh my God, like I can do this. I can do this. And that's the reason why I keep going back every year to push the limits farther. I was one of the first ones to ever do 21 days. And then I was the first one to ever do 40. I was the first one to ever do 60. I was the first one to ever do two 60-day challenges. And so for me, it's about the accomplishment of it. It's about trying to do something that is really at the forefront of what humans are capable of, similar to these people that we watch on the Olympics, and, watching people win Super Bowls and different things. And so for me, that's how I look at it. And so no matter how much pain and suffering I'm in, it's all worth it when I get to the end. It's all worth it when I cross that finish line.
So how long is it like a typical season? Like how long are you out there wherever you're at?
So now we're doing 60-day ones.
Okay.
And the last few years we've done a competition series where it's the last one standing.
Yeah.
And those ones are 45 days, and we eliminate each other throughout the challenge. And then there's one final person standing on day 45. So I mean, it's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a really
So
long time.
so we know like getting back into society and like traffic and just the world and stuff. What's it like for your body though to get back and you go from eating like real food to processed and all kinds of weird shit, going to a restaurant or whatever? Because our bodies, like just from like fitness and stuff, our bodies, when we get into a certain type of eating after a couple, like I think it's like a week, our bodies start adapting and changing and getting used to what we're doing. So you're out there for 45 to 60 days, coming back, like that's got to be rough.
There should be scientists studying us when we do this. They really should, because before each challenge, I gain 50 pounds prior to each challenge to prepare. And then on every challenge, I lose between a pound and a pound and a half a day. So a 45-day challenge, I'm going to lose over 50 pounds. A 60-day challenge, I'm going to lose maybe 70 pounds, which is crazy, right? That
Yeah.
much weight in that little time. And when I'm out there, the body slows its metabolism down and it shuts off non-essential processes. So, for
Mhm.
example, it really messes up, the hormone system. It messes up, digestion and different things, because it's just trying to survive at that point. Well, when you come out of it, your body, everything you eat, it adds it on as fat, because your body's in starvation mode. So, you eat one Skittle and it's going to add that Skittle on as 100% reserves, because
Yeah.
it thinks it's going to have to go through another starvation phase again. So it's true biology in the weirdest way. And I never thought I would know this much about what it means to starve and have your body try not to die, but it's fascinating. Yeah. And the body rebounds very quickly in terms of gaining the weight back. I mean, I can easily gain 50 pounds in 4 weeks coming back.
Okay.
The problem is it's all fat. It's all fat because the body just wants to, it create stores again to survive.
Hmm. Interesting.
What is in the immediate future for Mr. Jeff Zausch, huh? Got anything
Well,
planned?
yeah,
Granted, there's no EMP bomb.
yeah, I'm still doing the survival challenges. All right. I'm still doing them. I'm actually preparing for another one right now. So I'm gaining weight as we speak. Yeah, I got my waffles over here,
Nice.
so I'm preparing for the next one. But when I'm not surviving, I've started my own company called Patanova, where I take people on crazy adventure trips all around the world. So we're not staying in Marriott's on the beach. I'm taking people to Antarctica, Mount Everest, the pyramids of Egypt, exploring tombs, and doing really bucket list type trips. Because I'm comfortable in these environments, and so I'm taking people that want to get their feet wet in terms of some like extreme travel. So yeah, I'm planning a Mount Everest trip for this spring, taking a group of people on a 120-mile trek of the Himalayas.
Wow.
And taking people to Africa this fall to go and do some wildlife treks and track some lions and leopards out in the wild and that kind of stuff. So it's when I'm not surviving, that's what I'm doing now, which is pretty damn cool.
That's amazing. Where can people
That's awesome.
watching or listening to this get information on that?
It's all on my Instagram. I release all my new trips on Instagram, but if they want to go to the website, patanova.com, all my trips are there. And so if you want to get a little wild, if people have worked their life away in a freaking cubicle and they need a little adventure in their life, let me know because we have fun. We go to the far corners of the world and see things that very few humans have ever seen before.
I just had visions of John Locke from the TV show Lost. Stuck in the
Yeah.
wheelchair, trying to go on a walkabout. Man. So Antarctica, I hit you up. I want to go. I want to take a trip. I want you to take me to Antarctica. What the hell are we doing aside from freezing to death?
We're not doing the bougie shit like most people. Okay,
Wait,
most people when they go
First
to
of all,
Antarctica,
is there such a thing as bougie in Antarctica?
there is. Most people that go there, like when you see somebody post a selfie of them in Antarctica, they went on a ship, okay, with like toilets and like waiters and like 5-star meals and stuff. When we go to Antarctica, we're gonna summit the highest mountain peak in Antarctica. It's one of the 7 summits. And so we're not just gonna touch Antarctica, take a selfie, and go back to the comfort of the ship. We're going to be out in the elements. We're going to be in 75-degree below zero temperatures, winds trying to kill us. The real deal. We want the real experience, and that's true for everywhere we go. Like when we go to Egypt, I have an Egyptologist that's part of the trip, and he takes us into all these unexplored tombs of these pharaohs and pharaohs and different things, and they're closed to the public, but he has access from the government to view these places. So it's really cool. Like you get to hold a human skull in your hands, from some dude that was buried there, 4,000 years ago, and super cool stuff. And so it's true, like Indiana Jones, but like real life.
It's amazing.
What I'm assuming you vet anyone looking to partake in one of these, and if they're not, fit enough, you're like, nope, not happening, right? Or is it just, come on, let's do it?
It's come on, let's do it. With the exception of I vet them more personality wise.
Right.
If somebody wants to do it and they have the desire, then I tell them I'm going to help you do this. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what your fitness level is. If you want to get to Everest Base Camp and see her for yourself, like shit, like we'll make it happen. Like I believe in no limits, right? I believe in no limits when it comes to human achievement and what's possible. So really, I vet people just to make sure that we're a cohesive, united group, and that there's no like serial killer out there with us. But if you're
out,
cool,
dude. Sorry.
and if you have a dream, we make it happen.
Have you summited Everest?
I haven't summited. No,
Okay.
I've been to Everest. I've summited a couple of the peaks near Everest, right in front of Everest, but I haven't summited, and it's a fucking dream of mine. It really is. It's been a dream of mine since I've been a little boy. That 9-year-old boy that was crying, watching Usain Bolt win the gold. That same boy has dreamed of summiting Everest, but it's tough. Not just tough physically, but it's like $70,000 to make it happen. Like
Right.
that's an investment, that's a big one. So
Oh, hey, the lady just got home. Maybe she'll make it in here. Okay.
that'd be cool.
So extreme heat or extreme cold? What do you got to pick one. What are you picking?
Extreme cold. I'll pick extreme cold. Yeah.
Why?
Because extreme cold, you can do something about it. All right. You can shoot an Impala and make yourself a jacket or a loincloth. You can build a fire. You can heat up hot rocks and bury them under the ground and sleep on top of them. Like there's things you can do. But if you throw me in the deserts of, Tanzania and it's 135 degrees, there's not a lot you can do. They're not, I mean, you can only take off so much clothes,
Yeah.
right? You can only, you can only be in water for so long. And so, yeah, the heat is terrifying. It's next level terrifying.
Good to know. So anytime,
Yeah.
oh wait, is she coming? Awkward pause. So, all right, I didn't dive in on family. We're getting personal here. Do you have any kids, Jeff?
No wife, no kids. I mean, I've got a girlfriend and a golden retriever, and that's as much responsibility as I can get right now. I mean, if I had children, I don't know if I would be able to do what I do. Right, and that would be irresponsible. I mean, I can die on any one of these survival trips. I've almost died a couple times. I got bacterial meningitis after 60 days in the Philippines, and I was in the ICU for a month, and so unfortunately that might not be in my future, but I keep doing the pushing the limits for everyone back home.
If you do decide, or if it ever does come to fruition that you become a dad, I have literally just coined and trademarked the best TV show in the history for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's a spin-off, okay? Naked and Afraid with Baby. You have to survive naked in the elements with a newborn. I mean,
Dude,
come on.
remember that one time I took the baby to Vegas? Why don't we just do a reality show of that? That was the most fucked up, insane thing I've ever done in my life. I can't imagine anything harder. Just getting off of the airplane to the fucking car with the baby.
Oh my
That
God.
was that was like an obstacle course and like just a survival game all in itself. The whole 45 minutes of that was like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So those of the people that watched me on Naked and Afraid, I'm kind of known for not being very good at taking care of others. I'm the guy that's like, oh, you're dying? That sucks. Like best of luck. I'm gonna go eat this banana over here. I don't know. I actually pitched a show a couple years ago of a survival show with me and my dog because I thought that would be pretty cool, right? Like watching me, maybe want to feed my dog more than I want to feed myself. And they thought it would be cruel. They thought it would be cruel having the dog have to survive out there. So I don't know if they would go for the baby thing, JP.
Right, I know. We're going to have to fund
I
this
don't think they would
ourselves.
do
Jen,
that.
come here. My lady's here. She wants to say hi. I told you, big fan, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she hates cameras, but she's coming on camera. There she is.
What's up, girl?
You got any questions?
About the eel?
I did ask him about the eel.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to have to watch the episode to get the answer, but here's your chance. Any more questions? No?
But he's like, I think I could survive a week.
She thinks she can survive a week now because of you and watching the show.
Hey, if she wants to do an episode, like all you have to do is say the word. And they call me every week and they're like, yeah, like do you have any women that can do this? They're desperately looking for badass women that could do this. So I mean, we could make this happen.
But I've never cared.
Do you want to do Naked and Afraid?
They don't have to blur me.
They don't have to blur you. So let me give you a little baby, will you sit here and talk with us for a minute? Come here. So I'm gonna give you a little background information on Jen here. She is one of the toughest women I've ever known. She has beaten multiple cancers, including breast cancer, and has had a double mastectomy. So she's just joking. They don't even have to blur her out because there's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? So hey, you may be the next. You never know.
I have never gone camping ever in my life. Next month, I'm going camping for the very first time in a trailer. I'm going.
That's not camping.
Girl. Hey, we all got to start somewhere. But no, you're a fucking animal. You're a fucking animal. There's been very few people ever on Naked and Afraid that have ever actually had to survive for real. Right? Like you could show up and people would be complaining about mosquito bites and shit, and you'd be like, bitch, stop complaining. Like, I survived cancer. Like, that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
I'm very allergic to
So you got the scare tactic right off the bat. So like half the contestants are like, "Fuck this shit, we're done."
Right?
Yeah.
And you're also saving the producers money because they don't have to blur anything. So I mean, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
I think you should do it.
Thank you, baby. Go do your thing. All right. All right. Hey, man. Thank you. That was a moment for her. I guarantee it.
No, that was very cool. No, I'm honored to meet her. I'm honored to meet her. I do that cameo thing, where I film
Yeah.
videos for folks. And yesterday I filmed one for a woman that had just survived cancer, and it was emotional. And it was like I took it very seriously. I'm like, because I survive on television, okay? And like, like Nick mentioned earlier, like, yes, like they don't want me to die. There's a lifeline, and they have anti-venom in most countries and stuff. The people that have really actually survived something that tried to kill them, like I respect them probably more than I respect any other group of people. They are who I aspire to be. They are who I try to be on TV, but they're the real deal, right? They're the real deal. I'm just the guy doing my best for a TV show. So hats off to your wife, man. That's impressive.
Awesome. I mean, I don't know if you know the story about Nick here, but does he, Nick?
No, we haven't really talked about anything.
Okay.
No.
Is it, may I?
Yeah, go
You
for
want
it.
to talk about a badass survivor in the midst of everything? Your boy Nick right here is now on about year 3 of trying to figure out medical issues, couple strokes, issues with the spine and neck, constant, literally as we speak right now, he is fighting just to get through this interview.
Yeah, I got out of bed 20 minutes before we got on here. So,
And the man still goes and works out as much as he can, hustles, works, does everything, all in the midst of trying to get to the bottom of what the hell's going on with his body. And there's still, I mean, we're getting more answers. Do we have anything new to share today, Nick?
just I had a stroke like 4 weeks ago now, 3.5, 4 weeks ago. I was actually at the gym mid bench press. I blacked out and my left arm like felt like it was gone. The bar fell on my chest and rolled down on my neck, and then I've had a bad migraine since then. And there's days where like JP probably won't hear from me for like 2 or 3 days, and I'm just in bed. I can't get out of bed, and it's like it's rough, man. Like trying to explain to my 5-year-old, sorry, buddy, I can't hang out with you today because I can't function. Last night I was up all night with massive bloody noses and puking my guts out. So it's yeah, it's weird. I've gone MRIs like once or twice a month now, CT scans on my brain just to make sure nothing's terrible. I mean, the good news is I can still think clearly, I can still talk, I can still somewhat function. But yeah, they checked everything like for cancer and stuff. I have more tests to go just to make sure there's nothing too crazy other than I'm just having strokes for no reason. I don't know. It's just
man.
But yeah, I'm supposed to be getting like 2 more back surgeries that I have to go through. My spine has growths on it, and it makes it to where I can barely walk. So, and that's gotten a lot worse in the last 6 weeks. So anyway,
let's throw him into a crazy survival environment, and maybe just going through that may all this other stuff. It's nothing compared to that.
We'd have to change it to like Naked and Afraid Dad Bod Edition.
Oh my God, Nick, man, that's that's crazy. I'm starting to really understand the grind that you guys talk about. This is a real deal. Like if anybody can talk about.
So we have this, and I own a clothing company, so this is part of our clothing brand. We have our partners like a famous tattoo artist, the guitar player from Saving Abel, an actor, singer out of Vegas. We just a lot of really cool things that we do. We have an artist management company where I manage musicians all over the country. Some of which are actually one of them's getting considered for a Grammy nomination. So lots of really cool things. So yeah, it's constantly grinding, and I do it just to show my kids. It's like it doesn't matter like how shitty things are, how bad things are. You keep pushing through, and I hope I can inspire someone else having a rough time to just to keep pushing through this and kind of keep going. And you're never too old to chase your dreams. So
Yes, sir.
That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. I mean, there's people watching right now and listening that, I mean, we all complain about our lives, but when we really step back and hear a story like yours, we realize, holy shit, like I have nothing to complain about, right? I mean, and so I mean that's inspiring just me hearing it. I'd be honored to wear a grind shirt after hearing that story. Represent
yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of
definitely.
mentality.
I'll get you one. Yeah, we'll send some stuff out.
And you
Oh
can
yeah.
also go to weargrind.com and check out the full selection.
Exactly.
Right
Yeah,
on.
man,
Right
that's
on.
that's friggin' amazing. Nick and I actually started another podcast a few years back, which was very, very successful, which catapulted a lot of what's happening now, if not all of it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Nick. Um, but it started during COVID. Uh, my lady was going through hers. Nick was going through some issues with his baby at the time, and this was right before, literally months before the first episode that Nick had that started this journey he's on with his health, which led me to this question: how the COVID era?
Oh
How did
God.
you navigate COVID, Jeff?
Oh
And
my God.
I know we're past it and everyone hates talking about it, but especially in your case, I feel like it might be pretty interesting.
I feel a little guilty. I feel a little guilty because my year of COVID was really awesome. So I knew, like,
Right.
when it first hit and all shit started closing down, like I saw clearly what was going to happen, and it
Yeah.
was my worst nightmare. My worst nightmare is to be stuck indoors.
Yeah.
Like I
Right.
spend my entire life outside in the wild, and so immediately I started getting on the phones, contact, because all the TV shut down too. So I lost all my work, all
Yep.
my survival shows I had coming up, they all shut down. So I started getting on the phones and trying to create a plan on how I could spend COVID in the outdoors. And so I actually landed a cool thing with the national parks in the US where I went around and toured a bunch of national parks when they were closed to everyone. And I got to document, with a video camera and everything, what happened to these national parks when no humans were around. And it was fascinating seeing, how, in Yellowstone and these different places, how the animals took over again. They no longer kept to their places where they would, stay away from people. So I spent a year traveling all around the United States, seeing the best parts of our country and that kind of thing. And it was really cool. Honestly, it saved me. It saved me mentally by being able to get out, and because the worst torture you can do to someone like me is put me in a house and tell me I can't leave like that. I would have, I would have, I would have, I wouldn't have lasted something like that. So
Right.
yeah, I toured our great country and got to see, our great national parks, which are a treasure. They're amazing.
I knew he was going to have a unique answer, Nick. Uh,
Yeah, that's
you
awesome.
reminded me. I want to tell you a little bit about my grandpa. Grandpa Kenneth Granville Pierce, born in 1905. He was a geologist for his life. Grew up basically Sierra Nevadas. And during, I would say, 1925 to the mid 30s, he literally would tell grandma, leaving, be back in a while. And he would take a trip, backpack, and he would spend weeks at a time in Yosemite, just camping underneath the stars and I guess surviving. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm like, I thought you'd appreciate that story. I always thought that was, I mean, that's cool. So I come from a long line of that type of male, and it
I
makes
think
me want to do it right now.
we all need to get back to it. I encourage you to. I mean, shoot, like, yeah, like put in a sabbatical, tell your viewers that, you'll be back in 3 weeks. And yeah, grab your grandpa's old backpack and just, people always ask me, like, how do I learn these skills? And they ask me to teach them. And people are really disappointed when they find out I don't have a survival school and that I don't offer, classes for people to pay me money to learn these things, because I wouldn't do it justice. Really, the only way for you to truly learn how to survive in the wild is for you to survive in the wild. And I believe it 100%. And so like even, people have offered me, here, take my money, teach me something. And I'm like, nope, no, I won't do it because I have too much respect for it. It's the best way to learn is to go and do it. And you can't read this kind of stuff in a manual. You can't read it in a book. It's you got to do it. You just got to go out and do it like your grandpa. So that's cool.
There you go,
It's
man.
crazy
All right.
to think like if these shows came out back in the 90s, they would literally have to go like hundreds of days because like remember like we would just take off for sometimes days at a time on our bike out in the woods, no food, just fucking no water, just going. And I remember one time I'm out in the woods, I found a fucking mining cave, and my buddies and I went and explored a mining cave, and we came back like 3 days later. Parents were like, "Hey, you're still alive." Yeah. Like, what the hell happened to society? Like, what happened to it's so weird to see kids now. It's just like, oh, I'd rather,
Yeah.
post the content. It's like, dude, you can take your fucking phone with you. You still make videos and post content from the mining cave.
Oh, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Jeff, I've got one final question before we end this bad boy here.
Yeah.
Nick's gonna love this. A little backstory before I ask the question. I work in radio, still do. Most of my career has been in the radio industry, and over that time, I got to interview many, 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 many people. And one question I always like to ask of them, if I felt it right. One guy answered this question so uniquely that I spent almost 20 years trying to find someone to match the depth of how good his answer was. And over the past couple of years, 2 or 3 guys have matched that. I have a sneaky suspicion yours is going to be really good, but really different from that answer that I originally got. And after I ask you the question and get the answer, I will tell you what his answer was and who it was. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Now, I know I'm setting it all up and that's getting crazy, but it's really not that intricate of a question, but I truly believe it's going to be unique with you. What is one thing you cannot leave the house without?
Man. I mean, so I'm sure I could think of some really great answer, but the first thing that popped into my head, and it may surprise a lot of people, but it was prayer.
What? Prayer?
Prayer.
Prayer?
Prayer.
Okay.
Prayer.
Okay.
That's the
All
first
right.
thing because I tell you what, like people give me a lot of credit when I'm out there. And they're like, "Oh my God, Jeff, I can't believe you did this." Like, "Wow, you're one tough son of a bitch." And they give me so much credit. But I tell you what, um, all the difficult things I've ever overcome, I've always started them with a prayer of like me looking up at God and me being like, bro, like you know I'm not cut out for this. Like I've overstepped my limits here. Like, help me out, man. Help me out. And I give a lot of credit to God for getting me through the things I've got through. So for me, I would never go and do one of these survival challenges without praying beforehand and laying everything out to God and being like, we both know I'm not as good as people think I am. Like, you got to help me out, big man.
Right.
And that's how I roll. That's how I do these things.
All right, Nick, and everyone watching and or listening to this podcast, I'm doing something unprecedented right now in the history of that question. And I don't care what your beliefs are. Doesn't matter. Okay. I am now splitting the answer to that question into 2 different categories. The original answer still is number 1 in this side of the category, but Jeff Zausch just earned the number 1 spot in this other category for the answer to that question because I truly believe, and I was right, that is the most unique answer to that question. And we've never gotten that answer, Nick. Not even close.
We've done hundreds of episodes.
Yeah. And I've done hundreds of interviews on radio over the years. Okay. So the typical answer, my iPad, my keys, my phone, whatever, the basic things, people, I said, what is one thing you can, and that thing could be any number of things. You had that thought, and I knew it for some reason, that you weren't gonna go something, material. The original question, the original answer was Mr. George Thorogood of George Thorogood and the Destroyers.
All right.
I said, "Hey George, what's one thing you cannot leave the house without skipping a beat?" He said, "Kissing my wife."
Wow.
Right? And I was like, "Oh my God, that's such a good answer. There's no possible answer that can top what that was until just now."
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's topping it, but it's not worse. It's different. Therefore, category split. Bam, Jeff Zausch, new number one. Congratulations. That is I've been doing this a long time, man, and no one's ever come up with that or said that. I truly thought you were going to have something very, very unique, a perspective like you just did, or a tool of survival that, a knife, matches, fire starter, a flint, something along the lines in survival. But I think that answer prayer hit on both.
Part of me was going for, I hope he says knife, just to throw JP off.
Yeah. Oh my God. No. I think, I mean, I didn't even have to think about it a second, and that was what was in my head. And then I second guessed myself, and I'm like, oh, he wants a good answer, but no, that's the answer. And
a good answer.
Yeah. I've never. So I look at everything that's come to me in my life, and I can be honest when I say no physical object has ever done shit for me. It really hasn't. And so my first car, for example, it was a big deal. 1979 Trans Am. Bought it from an old guy that had it since like 1981 or something. Basically the only owner. And that was my first car. That was my baby. I restored it. I fixed it up. I did everything in that car. It was like a sibling to me. And a few years back, I had this realization of, wow, this car means a lot to me. And I'm like, that's shitty. It's a piece of metal with some glass windows and an engine. And I didn't like that this physical thing meant so much to me. So I sold it. The thing that was like, it was one of the most important things to me. And I sold it because it shouldn't be. It's a thing. It was created by man. And the more time that I spend in the wilderness, the more I realize that things created by man are usually worthless. And we put way too much focus on them, our houses, our cars, our jobs and different things. And so for me, the older I get, the more time I spend in nature, the more I realize that the real important things are what George said, kissing his wife before he leaves the house. Like, that's where it's at. Where it's at. And as
the great Tyler Durden once said, the things you own end up owning you.
Wow. That's it.
Fight Club. I mean, all right. Wow, man. This has been awesome. Great. Jeff.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the Grind Lifestyle podcast. I can now 100% officially proclaim he is not an asshole, nor is he a dick. He is quite the stand-up dude, man. I would love to have you on again sometime. We're gonna pencil that in. These hour-long podcasts, while open form and good, still, depending on the guests and the topics, I feel like there's a lot more we could chit chat about. So we would love to have you on again.
I'd love it. In fact, what would be fun is for us to do it after I get done with my last survival challenge, my next one.
Yeah. When is that?
That I'll be done with that in December.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to see the changes in me. Like when I get back, like I'm a little feral, I try to not get in any fights afterwards because, I'm thinking in the mindset of
right. That would be
killed. And I don't want to do something stupid and and anyway, it'll be fun. I'll be 70 pounds lighter and I
got a quick question for you. So we do with our t-shirt company, we do collabs. Like we have a collab with Lucas Rossi, who won Rockstar Supernova 20 years ago. That's dropping, I think, this week actually. Would you be into a collab shirt? where we actually pay you if, once we start selling them, and you make a percentage of the profit. And our
It would be
artists,
cool as hell. It would be cool as hell. I can't
okay,
even imagine the thought that would go into. Yeah, I mean, a shirt like grinds, like my God, like it just brings back memories, and
Yeah,
yeah,
but
that would be cool.
you
That would
get
be
to
cool.
help design what
yeah,
your
so our
shirt is
tattoo
going to
artist was
be.
actually on Ink Master. He's a renowned tattoo artist, like one of the most famous in the country, and
Wow.
the dude's amazing. He designs all of our stuff. We have another
Nick,
shirt coming out. I can't say who it is, but it's one of the biggest rock stars on the planet.
yeah,
Like
it's going to be amazing.
it goes
Wow.
him, and then unfortunately Ozzy died yesterday, so
Yeah. Yeah.
he's at the pinnacle of how big how big this is going to get for us. And we have the shirt done. It's designed. He's getting a bunch of shirts, taking pictures and videos. Once I have those back, we can announce who it is. But yeah, it's like, holy crap, I can't believe we hit that one. And but yeah,
Man,
I'd love to
right.
do a collab shirt with you though.
You two
So
should chit chat after the podcast is done recording about that more if you'd like. That would be absolutely
yeah,
amazing. I've already got
Let's do
ideas
it.
of a design that you can
okay.
go through. But, okay, I said one last question. This isn't a question, it's more of a statement. Before I truly end this thing, you said you wanted to possibly get back on when you're feral and afterwards. Why not just extend your survival by 1 extra hour? And as soon as it's done, you hop on, literally still naked, covered in mud, and we do it. I mean,
That-
it doesn't get
that
more
would be
feral
a-
than that.
That would be a first. That
It
would
would
be
be
an
like-
absolute first. Oh my
Exactly.
God.
I'm all about for welcome to the podcast. Fuck you guys. I need to leave.
And JP and I will be sitting in a nice, like, really cool sauna area with like a nice mud bath that's just clean.
Oh
with
my
no
God.
ice
your
water
balls.
and some, hamburgers,
Fuck it, I'll drink a beer with you. I'll have a beer on that one, and it'll be good.
I'm promising you, it will be wild as hell. I am a different person. I am an absolute different person. I say we do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We'll be in touch. Let's talk about it. All right, everybody. Once again, he is Nick. I am JP. That is 8-time Naked and Afraid winner, Jeff Zausch. Thank you, sir, for coming on, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. It's an honor.
Absolutely. And to everyone watching worldwide, wherever you may be, and however you may be listening, thank you for tuning into the Grind Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you very much. We'll check you out on the very next episode. See you.